Hello, coin enthusiasts, and welcome back to Square Roots. If you're a fan of coin collecting or simply curious about the history and value of old coins, you're in the right place. In today's video, we'll take a deep dive into the USA 1 dime coin from 1965, a coin that marked a turning point in American numismatic history. The 1965 Roosevelt dime holds a special place in U.S. coinage history. Roosevelt's dime holds a fundamental role in shaping the U.S. numismatic history, including two important events, World War I and the Revolution. Introduced as part of the Roosevelt Dime series in 1946, this coin features a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse, designed by John R. Sinek. On the reverse, you'll find the torch, olive branch, and oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. But what makes the 1965 dime so significant? To understand that, let's step back in time. In the early 1960s, the United States faced a coin shortage. Silver coins were being hoarded as the value of silver in the coins began to exceed their face value. To address this, the U.S. Mint made a historic decision in 1965. They removed silver from the dime and quarter, transitioning to a copper-nickel-clad composition. The 1965 Roosevelt dime was the first U.S. dime struck without any silver content. Instead, it consists of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. This composition is still used in dimes today. Now, let's talk about the value of a circulated 1965 dime. Since it's a common coin with billions produced, its value in circulated condition is typically just its face value, 10 cents. However, there are exceptions. Coins in exceptional condition, such as those with minimal wear or with errors, can be worth significantly more. For example, a 1965 dime-graded MS-67 or higher by PCGS or NGC could fetch $20 to $30 or more at auction. Even higher premiums apply to coins with unique errors, like off-center strikes or double dies. Speaking of errors, some 1965 dimes were mistakenly struck on 90% silver planchettes left over from 1964. These error coins are extremely rare and highly sought after by collectors, with some selling for thousands of dollars. So, how can you tell if you have a valuable 1965 dime? Start by checking the coin's condition. Look for errors such as missing ridges on the edge, doubling on the lettering, or any unusual metal composition. A small investment in a coin scale can also help define identity. And along with a distinctive dime designation you capture from your collection, a small investment in a coin scale weighed 2.5 grams, whereas copper-nickel dimes weigh 2.27 grams. Remember, most 1965 dimes you come across will just be worth 10 cents, but that doesn't mean they aren't fascinating. Each coin tells a story of its time, and for the 1965 dime, that story is one of economic change and innovation. The story of the 1965 Roosevelt dime begins during a turbulent time in U.S. economic history. In the early 1960s, the United States experienced a severe coin shortage. The demand for coins soared as vending machines, parking meters, and other coin-operated devices became more widespread. However, there was a bigger problem brewing. Silver at the time, U.S. dimes, quarters, and half dollars, were made of 90% silver. But the price of silver was rising, and by 1964, the intrinsic metal value of these coins began to exceed their face value. And in 2001, people started hoarding silver coins, further worsening the shortage. It became clear that a solution was urgently needed. In 1965, President Lyndon B. Johnson signed the Coinage Act of 1965 into law. This landmark legislation removed silver from dimes and quarters, replacing it with a copper-nickel-clad composition. This decision was a significant shift in U.S. coinage, aimed at preventing hoarding and ensuring the availability of coins for everyday transactions. The Wall Street Journal reports, Roosevelt dime, introduced in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt and his leadership in the fight against polio, was chosen to continue production in this new composition. The 1965 dime became the first in the series made without silver. Instead, it featured an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core. Interestingly, the U.S. Mint faced another challenge in 1965. To prevent confusion among the public, the Mint decided to freeze the use of mint marks on coins. This means that no dimes, quarters, or half dollars struck from 1965 to 1967 bear a mint mark, regardless of where they were minted. The change from silver to copper-nickel was not without controversy. Collectors were disappointed, and many Americans felt that coins without silver lacked intrinsic value. However, the new composition proved successful in stabilizing the coin supply, and the 1965 dime became a symbol of a new era in U.S. currency politics. Today, the 1965 Roosevelt dime is not only a common coin, but also a reminder of a time when the U.S. economy had to adapt to a rapidly changing world and sustained. It's a small yet powerful piece of history that continues to circulate in our pockets and collections. Would you like to expand further on this historical segment or include additional details about? Thanks for joining me today on. If you enjoyed learning about the 1965 Roosevelt dime, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fascinating coin stories and tips. Have you ever found a unique 1965 dime in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And as always, keep hunting, keep learning, and keep collecting. See you in the next video.